1792 fiery visitor over the water over Lake Ontario. In the early autumn of 1792, Lake Ontario was a remote frontier separating the fledgling settlements of Upper Canada from the newly formed United States. The British Crown maintained forts along its northern edge, and French-Canadian fur traders and explorers moved frequently across its waters, connecting indigenous trading partners with European markets. It was during one of these expeditions, according to oral accounts and scattered secondary sources, that an unusual event reportedly took place, an aerial phenomenon later passed down in local folklore. Background: Jacques Le Moyne and the Frontier. Jacques Le Moyne, often confused with a French artist of the same name from the 16th century, was allegedly a fur trader of French descent operating around the Great Lakes region in the late 18th century. No direct diary from this Le Moyne has been recovered in national archives, but his name occasionally surfaces in oral traditions from old trading posts and indigenous accounts in the region of modern-day Kingston, Ontario. According to these accounts, during a routine journey by canoe near dusk on Lake Ontario's northeastern shore, Le Moyne and several others observed what they described as a fiery sphere that appeared suddenly in the western sky. Le Moyne's reported observations, if they occurred, would have been viewed through the lens of Enlightenment-era thinking, one foot in science, the other in superstition. He allegedly described the object as glowing with an intensity brighter than any star, trailing sparks or glowing embers, and descending rapidly toward the lake before vanishing with no sound. The event, a fiery descent. The description passed down includes several key details that invite scrutiny and analysis. The object reportedly appeared without warning near twilight, traveling from west to east at high speed. Unlike a conventional meteor, which typically flashes across the sky in seconds, Le Moyne's object was said to have remained visible for nearly 30 seconds, an unusually long duration. Witnesses claimed the object pulsed with an amber or reddish hue, illuminating parts of the lake's surface as it moved. It was seen plunging into the water, but no explosion or sound followed. In the days afterward, Le Moyne allegedly wrote in his travel notes that the lake glowed at night as if something had sunk beneath it. While no such original document is available today, variations of this description survive in oral traditions among older families living near Bath and Amherstview, Ontario. Early settlers' accounts: the glowing lake. Throughout the early 19th century, settlers in the Lake Ontario region reported occasional nights when the water appeared to emit a faint light. While this phenomenon is rare, it is not impossible. Bioluminescent algae and aquatic microorganisms, such as Noctiluca scintillans, have been known to cause waters to glow under certain environmental conditions. However, the settlers of the time, especially those unfamiliar with marine biology, often interpreted such events as spiritual or supernatural in nature. Some of these settlers referenced the 1792 event as a possible cause, speaking of a curse or sunfire that had fallen into the lake. Indigenous oral traditions in the region also mention sky spirits and light beings associated with celestial events over bodies of water. However, none of these stories directly confirm Le Moyne's account, nor do they offer a consistent narrative. Scientific explanations. Given the scant documentation and absence of any official records from 1792 regarding a UFO over Lake Ontario, one must approach the story with measured skepticism. Still, several natural explanations might account for the reported details. Meteor or bolide. The most probable explanation is a meteor or bolide, a particularly bright meteor that explodes in the atmosphere. These can travel slower than most meteors and sometimes appear to change color. If it entered the atmosphere at a shallow angle and descended near the lake, its reflection could have made it appear as though it entered the water. Ball lightning. Rare and poorly understood, ball lightning could have been visible during stormy weather. It is known to hover or move erratically and emits a glow, sometimes reported as silent. St. Elmo's fire or static discharge. Though less dramatic, a static electrical phenomenon might cause a visual illusion, especially for observers at water level under unusual atmospheric conditions. Bioluminescence. The glowing lake reports might be explained by seasonal or sporadic algal blooms. Although rare in freshwater lakes like Ontario, it is not impossible. Auroral activity. The northern lights, while typically green or purple and seen in the northern sky, could have been interpreted in strange ways by observers with no prior exposure. However, the event's direction and motion suggest something more localized and terrestrial. Cultural legacy and myth. The 1792 incident, real or misinterpreted, has become part of local legend. Even today, some boaters on the northeastern shore of Lake Ontario near Amherst Island and Bath tell stories of strange lights over the lake. Fishermen have reported a sensation of magnetism or sudden equipment malfunctions, although these anecdotes are often vague and anecdotal. The story is sometimes included in regional compilations of paranormal lore or in UFO books chronicling pre-modern sightings. Where it stands out as one of the earliest recorded events of its kind in Canada. Still, without a physical document or multiple contemporary accounts, it cannot be classified as a verified UFO incident. Conclusion. A legend with loose ends. While the 1792 Lake Ontario aerial phenomenon lacks hard evidence, its persistence in local folklore and its alignment with later reports of unexplained aerial phenomena makes it an intriguing case. Whether Lemoyne's notes ever existed or were misattributed, the idea of a strange glowing object descending into a vast, mysterious lake on a dark 18th century evening captures the imagination. It is a story at the crossroads of myth and observation, reflecting humanity's timeless fascination with the skies and what may or may not be watching from above.